My boyfriend told me he didn't like social media. So why was he tagged in a couple's cooking class post by another girl? I signed up for the same class. When he walked in holding her hand, I asked the instructor if I could bring a +1, his mother. I've never been the type to snoop through phones or stalk people online. I always figured if you need to do that, the relationship's already broken. But I've learned that ignoring small red flags doesn't stop the storm. It just blinds you to it until it hits. My name's Carla. I'm 34, and I live in Fort Worth, Texas. I work in logistics, boring stuff like warehouse orders and truck routes. I live a quiet life. I've never been into drama. Nate came into my life when I least expected it. I was getting my brakes looked at the shop near my place. He was the one working the front that day, tall, rough hands, oil-stained shirt, and this easy, calm voice. We hit it off fast. He asked me out that same day. We were together almost 3 years. He always said he wasn't into social media, claimed it was a waste of time. Told me once it caused fights in his last relationship. Said people always digging into your business, turning nothing into something. At first, I liked that. I didn't care much for posting anyway. Sometimes I'd tag him in a meme or a picture of us at a festival, and he'd ask me to take it down. Said he didn't want his ex getting curious. That should have been a red flag. I didn't see it. I thought it meant he cared about keeping us private. I thought we were solid. Then one random Saturday morning, my cousin sends me this Instagram reel. "Hey," she texts, "isn't this your man?" It was a video from this local Fort Worth chef's page. They do these couples cooking classes. The reel showed people stirring sauces, holding hands, laughing, flipping pans together. It was a cute vibe. Then, 48 seconds in, I saw him. Nate, wearing an apron, standing next to a blonde woman I had never seen before. She fed him a bite of pasta and kissed him on the cheek. I paused the video, rewound, watched again. That was my boyfriend. I clicked on the chef's page. The caption said "Sweetest couples tonight" and tagged the attendees. Right there was her profile at Tina Marie Lane. Her whole account was open. And the top post? A selfie of her and Nate outside the cooking class. The sign behind them read "Couples Night In." They were smiling like they hadn't just stomped on someone else's life. Her caption? "Love cooking with my man." I felt like the air had been knocked out of me. Not just because he cheated, but because of how easy it looked for him. Like it was just another night. And the worst part? That class happened the weekend before. He told me he was working late. Battery died on a truck, he said. Client's gonna flip if I don't get it done tonight. I believed him. I didn't confront him. Not right away. I needed to think. So I went on the chef's website and booked 2 spots in the next couple's class. Then I called his mom. Her name's Donna. We'd gotten close over the years. She called me her bonus daughter. Always brought me little gifts when we saw each other. Last Christmas, she gave me a photo album with a note that said, "Hope this ends in wedding bells one day." So I told her everything. Sent her the video, the post, told her I had a plan. And she said, without missing a beat, "Oh, I'm coming." She didn't ask questions. Just showed up that night in a blouse, lipstick on, and a smile that said she was ready to watch her son crush. We got to the cooking studio early. I wore the same red sweater I had on in the last photo I posted with Nate, just in case he didn't get the message right away. People started arriving, laughing, couples holding hands. Then the door opened. And there he was, Nate, walking and holding Tina's hand like she was his whole world. He saw me before he even got all the way through the door. He stopped in his tracks like he hit a wall. His mouth dropped open. His hand slipped out of hers like it was on fire. Tina looked up at him, confused, then followed his eyes to me. To me standing there with his mom. "Hi, Nate," I said calmly. "Didn't think you'd be here. Oh, by the way, I asked the instructor if I could bring a +1. This is Donna, your mom." She was really excited to see what couples cooking was all about. The instructor looked so confused. Other people were whispering. Tina blinked like she couldn't process it. Wait, this is your mom? You're here with your mom? What the hell is going on? Donna stepped forward, hand out like it was the PDA. Hi, sweetie. I'm Nate's mother. And this is Carla, his girlfriend. Or maybe I should say, was. Nate looked like he was going to throw up. Tina's mouth was hanging open. She turned and looked at him. You told me you weren't seeing anyone. That you were single. Nate tried to explain. His voice cracked. He said something about complicated and timing and meant to tell you. It was pathetic. I didn't stay to hear it all. Donna and I put on our aprons and joined the class. We made shrimp risotto and lemon tart while the two of them argued in the parking lot. And I thought that was the end of it. But it wasn't. Because a week later, I found out Tina wasn't the only one. A week after the cooking class disaster, I thought things would quiet down. I blocked Nate. Deleted every photo. Put his stuff in a box and left it on his mom's porch. I even took time off work to clear my head. Then, on a random Wednesday afternoon, I got a message. From another woman. Her name was Kelsey, and she said she found me through Tina's post. She said she wasn't trying to start anything, but she saw what happened in the comments and wanted to warn me. Nate had been seeing her too. They'd been on and off for almost a year. He told her he wasn't ready for something serious because he was recovering from a toxic relationship. Said he needed time to heal. Kelsey said she believed him. Said he was sweet, quiet, always fixed her car for free. She had no clue he was juggling other women. I asked her to call me. We talked for 2 hours. Turns out she met him through a mutual friend. He never mentioned me. Never mentioned Tina either. Kelsey didn't even know who Tina was until she saw that cooking class video floating around Instagram. Then she dug. And found me. She wasn't the type to make drama. She was calm. But I could tell she was hurt. She said he met her parents 2 months ago. Took her niece to the zoo. Told her he wanted to take a road trip together this spring. I didn't even know what to say. After we hung up, I stared at the ceiling for a long time. I wasn't crying. I wasn't even angry. I just felt hollow. Like everything I knew about the last 3 years had been yanked out from under me. That weekend, I met up with Kelsey and Tina at a diner on the edge of town. We needed to talk face to face. It wasn't weird. It wasn't even awkward. We compared timelines, photos, texts. The overlaps were disgusting. Nate had been rotating between us like we were jobs on a schedule. Tina found out she'd spent Valentine's Day with him one day before I did. Kelsey found messages where he'd said almost the exact same thing to all 3 of us, cut and pasted compliments, promises, excuses. He even used the same stupid nickname, Baby Bear. We decided to do something. Not crazy. Not violent. Just something he wouldn't see coming. Kelsey told us Nate still owed her $600 for a timing belt he never got around to fixing. Tina still had a spare key. And me? I had the password to his Netflix, Spotify, and a few shared accounts he was too lazy to change. So we got creative. We made a new Instagram page called @NateUncovered. No hate speech, no cussing. Just facts. Screenshots. Photos. Text threads. Proof. We didn't name call. We didn't lie. We just showed the overlap. The manipulation. The triple dipping. We kept it calm, clear, and honest. Within a day, it had over 800 followers. By the 3rd day, his coworkers were messaging us. One of the girls from his shop DM'd me and said, "We always thought something was off with him." He used to flirt with me too. He wasn't just 2 timing, or 3 timing. He was a serial cheater. But the worst message came from a girl named Haley. She said she dated Nate over a year ago. They broke up when he got weird about commitment. She found out later he was still living with his actual girlfriend the whole time. That girlfriend? She ended up in therapy. Haley said, "He's been doing this for a long time. You girls are the first ones to stand up." We kept the page up for a month. Every time a new girl came forward, we added her story. No doxing, no threats, just truth. And eventually, someone sent us a video. It was Nate, at work, getting into it with his boss. Apparently, his boss's niece was one of the girls we exposed. Nate got fired the next day. He sent me a message that night. First time I'd heard from him since the cooking class. Hope you're happy. You ruined my life. I didn't reply. I showed it to Donna instead. She said he ruined his own life. You just lit the lights so people could see it. Things started to die down after Nate lost his job. The Instagram page went quiet. No more new women came forward for a while. I thought maybe that was it. Maybe we'd done enough. But I was wrong. 3 weeks later, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was Donna. She was crying. At first, I couldn't understand what she was saying. Then I caught the words hospital, Nate, accident. He'd wrecked his truck. Head-on collision out near Lake Worth. Police said it looked like he'd swerved to avoid a deer, but he lost control. His truck flipped twice. He survived, but barely. Broken leg. Crushed ribs. A concussion. And he shattered his left hand. Donna asked me to come with her to the hospital. I told her I didn't think I should. She said, please. I need someone who knows what he's been through. So I went. Not for him. For her. When I walked into that hospital room, I didn't feel what I thought I'd feel. No satisfaction. No revenge. Just sadness. Nate looked like a ghost. Pale, bruised, tubes in his nose. He tried to speak when he saw me. His lips moved like he was trying to say sorry. I walked out. I couldn't sit there and comfort the man who turned love into a game. I thought that would be the end of it. But then Donna called again. She said Nate wanted to talk. That he had something to say and wouldn't tell her. Said he wanted to tell me first. Against my better judgment, I agreed. We met at her house. He was staying there during recovery. He sat there, all banged up, looking smaller than I'd ever seen him. Like the weight of what he did finally hit him. I need to tell you something, he said. I folded my arms. Start talking. And that's when he dropped it. I never wanted to hurt you. But I wasn't just cheating because I'm some player. I was trying to get back at you. I blinked. Excuse me. He looked me in the eyes. I always thought you were going to leave me first. I don't know why. Maybe because you were too good for me. You had a real job. You were stable. I felt like a joke next to you. That's not a reason to lie. I know, he said quickly. But it felt like control. I kept thinking, if I keep her at arm's length, she won't hurt me. So I started cheating. Not because I loved them. Because I was scared of you leaving me. I couldn't even speak. It was like I was watching a grown man trying to explain why he'd set his own life on fire. And now? I asked. What do you want now? I want to make it right, he said. I want to tell every one of them the truth. And then I want to disappear. Just disappear from your life. He did. He called Tina, Kelsey, even Haley. Said he told each of them what happened. No excuses. No tears. Just facts. Then he deleted all his social media, packed up and left Fort Worth. No one knows where he went. Donna said he left a note. All it said was, I was wrong. I'm going to fix myself. Maybe that's the only thing I can do now. I thought that was the end. But 2 months later, I got a message from an unknown account. Just 5 words. You were never the only one. Attached? A photo of me, taken through a window, from over a year ago. And suddenly, it wasn't just about Nate anymore. At first, I thought the message was some kind of leftover drama from Nate's disaster trail. Maybe one of the other women had snapped. But the more I stared at that photo, the less sense it made. It was taken through my bedroom window. At night, I was sitting on my bed reading. You could see my profile, my lamp, even the red sweater I wore during that cursed cooking class. It was from months ago. My skin went cold. I checked every photo on my phone, every video I'd posted. Nothing matched. This wasn't a screenshot. Someone had taken this from outside my house. I called the police. They took it seriously, said it could be stalking, especially given everything with Nate. I showed them the message. They said they'd open a file and told me to keep all my doors locked, install cameras, the usual advice. I did all of that. But I didn't sleep well after that. 3 days later, I got another message. This time, no words. Just a video. It was dark and grainy. Someone walking through what looked like a garage. My garage. The camera panned slowly across my tools, my shelves, and then landed on something new. A Polaroid photo, stuck to the wall with a knife. The photo? It was me and Nate. From our first trip to Galveston. Smiling like idiots, holding hands. On the back was written, "Should have looked deeper." That's when I realized this wasn't about just cheating anymore. Someone had been watching me for a long time. And they weren't done yet. The police came again. They found signs of forced entry in the garage door, scrape marks, a broken latch. They asked if I had any enemies. Just Nate, I said. And maybe the trail of broken hearts he left behind. They wanted a list of everyone involved. I gave them everything. Tina, Kelsey, Haley, even Donna. Then I did something desperate. I messaged Nate. I hadn't heard from him in 2 months. I didn't know where he'd gone, and honestly, I didn't care until now. But this felt bigger than cheating. It felt like someone wanted to punish me for exposing him. He replied within an hour. "I warned you," he wrote. "There's stuff I never told you. Stuff I couldn't." I called him. His voice sounded different. Rougher. Paranoid. "I think it's my ex. Not Tina. Not Kelsey. Someone else. I met her before you. Way before. I never told you because it got bad. Really bad." I pressed him. He finally told me. Her name was Mallory. She lived in Abilene. They dated for almost a year. She was possessive, jealous, obsessive. He tried to leave her, and she stalked him, showed up at his job, messaged every woman he followed online, once slashed his tires. He never told me because he was ashamed. He said, "When you girls exposed me, I think it triggered her. She used to say, 'If you ever embarrass me, I'll ruin you.' I thought she moved on. I was wrong." I asked him how she'd even know about me. He said he had mailed her something months ago, a box of old letters, trying to end things clean. That box had his return address on it, which meant she knew exactly where I lived. The next night, I didn't sleep. I kept the lights on, phone in hand. I watched the camera feeds until my eyes burned. At 2:43 a.m., I saw movement. My driveway. Someone walked across it, slow, like they weren't in a hurry. A woman. Long hair. Hoodie. Carrying something under her arm. I called 911 before she even got near the door. They got there fast. For minutes, maybe 5. But she was already gone. They searched the area. Found nothing. But they did find what she left behind. On my porch, under the welcome mat, was a folder. Inside it? Printed photos. Dozens of them. Of me. In grocery stores. Walking to work. At the gas station. At the gym. Someone had been following me for months. Long before the cooking class. Long before Tina. She was building a case. But here's the final twist. The police traced her car through a neighbor's camera. Found it parked 2 blocks away. And when they pulled her over, it wasn't Mallory. It was Haley. The hurt but calm one. The one who said Nate left her confused. The one who told us she'd gone to therapy. Turned out, she never let him go. She still had his location from an old phone app. She followed every woman he talked to. She created fake accounts. Even joined the cooking class under a different name just to watch him with Tina. She admitted it all. She said the Instagram page pushed her over the edge. That she loved him first. That we ruined her shot at getting him back. She's being held for stalking and criminal trespass. And Nate? He stayed gone. He sent one last message. Said he was moving out of state. Starting over. He apologized again. But I didn't reply. And me? I moved too. Different part of town. Got a new job. A new number. I don't post anymore. Don't tag anyone. Don't even check who watches my stories. Because I've learned that betrayal doesn't always come with loud crashes or final words. Sometimes it comes slow, with a smile, and a knife behind someone's back.